When it comes to your inner journey of healing, personal development, and growth, no matter the method you use, the vital point is to practice. If you're ready to transform your life and live with clarity, connection, and wholeness, then you're in the right place. Welcome back to The Vital Point. I'm your host, Jonathan Schecter. As a breathwork facilitator and integration coach, the goal of this show is to inspire you to take action for yourself, whether you're taking the first step on your journey of healing and self-discovery, or you're already a seasoned traveler. The truth is you have the capacity to evolve and bring your intentions and dreams into the world, and there's never been more access to so many incredible modalities that can help you on your journey. This podcast will help you learn simple methods you can use to change your life with guided practices and interviews with practitioners who are doing the work. I want you to feel confident and inspired to take the next step on your own pathway to integration and wholeness, because the answer is found in the action. That's the vital point. Take a deep breath and let's drop in. Well, this is the end of season 10. It's hard to believe it's already here. Since I began the season with somewhat of an integration journal, I will close that loop for this as well. I accomplished a lot this season, totally cleared the backlog of episodes, got more clear on my own process and how I want to engage in the show moving forward. I have another 2 seasons that I'm planning for the year, and then once those are recorded and edited and I'll have them on the release schedule, most likely going to take another pause, only because of things that are on my plate and learning how to respect what my body is telling me it needs as far as rest and as far as time to recuperate. The integration work that I've been doing recently is around having a lot and doing a lot. And one of the things that I appreciate about somatic work is the exploration of how different opposites or different parts that want different things can live together simultaneously. And one of those interesting relationships that I'm working with right now is feeling like I am doing too many projects, but also liking that and exploring what might happen if I let go of things. I really feel like at the beginning of the year, this was something that was starting to form. And I even took some steps towards letting some things go. At the same time, I started the school community. I decided that I was going to finish the GTT Groff Breathwork program training and certification this year, in addition to the somatic experiencing training, and that I was going to keep doing the podcast, albeit in a way that made more sense for me. So taking some steps forward as far as making adjustments and slowing down to speed up, but I'm still in that slow down phase. Still haven't quite gotten to feel as slow as I would like. And I'm exploring that within myself. What I don't want personally is to burn out. And what I don't want is to get into a place where I'm over leveraged. And I definitely feel like I'm close to the threshold right now. So I'll be taking about a month off once I post this episode to get the next season ready. In fact, most of the guest episodes are already recorded. There's this idealist part of me that wants to have the entire season completed before I release anything, only because I know what happens and how easy it is to fall behind and put it off for another day because there's other projects that are more pressing. And, just to hold myself accountable, I'm recording this episode on the same day that I am planning on releasing it. I had planned on doing some more work and journaling and reflecting to prepare for it, which is what I usually do when I'm doing my solo episodes. But I've been caught up. I just got back from a week in San Francisco doing one of the last somatic experiencing modules. I've been teaching meditation every day live, and you can drop into that through the school platform. I'd love to have you there. It's free every day. And I just finished a breathwork workshop with my partner yesterday, in addition to all the normal Blue Magic Alchemy things and recording new podcasts and things like that. So yeah, that's my accountability check for the day, is that I am learning. Still quite haven't gotten exactly where I'd like to be as far as cadence and processes and being ahead of the curve so that I have more time to rest and recuperate. But I feel more clear about it. And I think I mentioned it a little bit in the beginning of the season, but I had a session with a somatic experiencing therapist recently as a part of my practicum, you could say, that I need to finish for certification. And we really talked about one of the things that I've learned, or that I'm continuing to learn throughout this process of becoming a practitioner, is the cost of doing things that are not in alignment with my nervous system. And when I'm doing things because I want to be liked, or because the perfectionist part of me is running the show, or some other motivation that really isn't serving the vision of the way I want to show up in the world. And I think the podcast came close to succumbing to that, to falling into that trap. And I'm still making some adjustments. I've been recording new episodes for the next season and really enjoying it, and really feeling comfortable in the process of doing the interviews in a way that I was not before. Really enjoying myself and feeling settled in my body and noticing that. And I think that there's two reasons for that. One is that I have more practice in it, right? And in the beginning, I was just trying to figure it out. Another reason, though, I have a hunch that it's because I am coming from this more aligned place, and this place that is more slow and more intentional. And I'm not killing myself chasing after guests that, I have to convince to come on, or that I'm having on the show because I want the audience to grow. In fact, it's not that I don't want the audience to grow, but I feel right now, at least, that I'm doing the podcast for the audience that's here now, and for my own curiosity and enjoyment, and that the people that it's meant for will find it. My focus is not checking the stats and putting out buku content and all the things that I was doing before in pursuit of that chase, in pursuit of making it bigger. So really just noticing that feeling of like, oh, this feels really good to be doing it this way. And at the same time, feeling like I still need to slow down even more, that I haven't quite gotten here yet. And taking a survey of all the projects that I have and saying, if I was going to free up some space, what could I hit pause on? And the podcast is one of them. So it's this very interesting sort of push-pull feeling of feeling like there's momentum growing and satisfaction growing on one hand, and then this desire to slow down on the other. So I'm saying this on April 7th. We'll check in again after season 11 and 12 are done. Because to me, that is the compromise is, okay, I'm just going to finish what I already have on my schedule and on my plate and then not do any more. And the last time that I did that, I had a year's worth of backlog. This time, I have whole new episodes. And that feels really good. I'm much more close to a net zero. And so I know that it's not going to take me as long. And yeah, we'll see after that. We'll see what I'm feeling like. We'll see if I want to move to a different publishing cadence or just take a break and recharge. I don't really know what that looks like yet, but I feel good that I'm honoring myself, even if it feels vulnerable to be sharing that with you. I'm really, really excited about the interviews that I've been doing, however. I think they're some of the most enjoyable podcasts that I've done. And I felt that way throughout this season as well, not necessarily with the things that took me a year to get out, but with the newer episodes that I sprinkled in there, with the interview with Cam. And I don't even want to call that an interview. It was like a somatic integration session, or the conversation with my mom, and feeling more comfortable doing solo episodes like this one. Or, we did a few different meditations this season that were standalone. So I've really felt good about the direction that the podcast is going in, whether that's just my own confidence or a little tweak to the alignment and what I want to head towards, as well as the somatic experience of doing the podcast itself and how it feels to show up. So that's my vulnerable moment. Thank you for listening. I hope that you can relate to that in some way, and that maybe it gives you permission to hit pause on something as well. Like, what is something in your life when you sit and you take a few breaths that you're not happy doing, but you're still doing it? Now, that's not a very easy question to answer for some of us, because that might be your job. And of course, that's not an easy thing to let go of, especially if you have bills like most of us, or a family, or a mortgage payment, things like that, responsibilities. But is there something that you're doing that you would rather be spending doing something else, even if that something else is just rest? Is there 30 minutes to an hour that you spend scrolling on your phone that you could use journaling or meditating or walking or connecting with a friend? Is there one meal a week or a day that you could do a little bit differently, be a little bit healthier, make different decisions to support that higher vision of yourself that you'd like? Is there something creative that you could do in that time that you're spending doing something that doesn't feel good, or that you're doing for God knows what reason, right? That's part of the interesting thing about this exploration, is that when I can slow down enough to really feel what's happening in my body and the emotions that I'm either being with as a part of that experience or trying to hide from and manage as a result of that experience, things really change. It's much easier for me to reorganize my priorities. So that's that's about all I got. The rest of this episode is going to be the day one of my 30-day path of meditation course. I hope that you use it. I hope that you bookmark it and come back to it when you need. And I hope that you join us in the school community at school.com/Blue Magic Alchemy and come and do some of the other meditations, some of the other breath work, connect with other practitioners there. Welcome to the Path of Meditation. We'll be exploring different mindfulness meditation practices throughout the next month. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time for yourself. Since this is the first day, we'll be focusing on the end goal of meditation. And then over the next few days, getting into more of the how. So the end goal of meditation is simply being. No one has put it more eloquently than Ram Dass in his book, Be Here Now. Rather than doing something, the idea with meditation is simply to allow yourself to be, to relax into the now. And this can be more challenging than it appears. Often we say that meditation is simple, but not easy. And over the next 30 days, I hope to make this a little bit easier for you. But today, let's begin with the end in mind. So taking your seat, you can be sitting in a chair or on a cushion, something where your back can be straight. If you need to, you can lie down, but only if it's not going to make you go to sleep. We don't want to be sleeping during our meditation practice. In fact, you might say that the goal with meditation is to wake up. Not necessarily our physical body, but our spirit, our internal energy. So sitting in a way where your back can be straight, but still relaxed. We don't want to be rigid and introduce more stress. Your hands can be on your knees or in your lap. Many people like to put the right hand in the palm of the left with the thumbs touching. But again, you can keep it simple. Doesn't have to be overly complicated. A cushion is nice because it will raise your butt higher than your knees. This will take pressure off of your lower back. It'll also help to keep your shoulders back and down, which is another key. Don't want your shoulders to be up here next to your ears. So you might even just take one nice deep breath in and notice as you breathe in how the spine lifts. And then as you breathe out, notice the settling. So making sure that your shoulders are back, just to keep your chest forward and open. You can close your eyes or keep them open. Oftentimes, when people start to meditate, they will close their eyes. This is generally easier. But there's also something about that wakefulness and being present that develops when you practice with your eyes open. So, whatever you choose today is fine. If you're closing your eyes, you could go ahead and do that now. If you're keeping them open, a gentle gaze 4 to 6 feet in front of you, looking at the floor, but not really looking at anything. Just allow your gaze to relax. Taking the tip of your tongue and placing it where the back of your two front teeth and the roof of your mouth meet. So, this is our basic meditation posture. And then just allow yourself to just be here. Notice what you're bringing in to your practice today and seeing if you can allow whatever's here to be here. And as much as possible, you don't have to change anything, simply observing. Whatever thoughts, whatever sensations, whatever emotions, just observing. In this way, we're turning our awareness inwards, placing your awareness on your awareness itself. Noticing that your sense of self, the answer to that question, who am I, is simply your awareness. What's in your awareness right now? Notice sensation and sounds that you hear, and things that you smell, and feelings on the skin. Perhaps there's smells in the room. All this is in your awareness. Placing that awareness on your thoughts. As much as you can, just allowing those thoughts to be there. Noticing how they change, how they're constantly shifting. Allowing yourself to observe them. If there's emotion, just notice that. Turning that awareness inwards on itself. Where do you notice it? How does it feel right now? If you're finding all of this challenging, You work with the resource of your breath. If you're finding it enjoyable, you can allow yourself to sit and just enjoy, or even to strengthen that enjoyment with your breath itself. Placing that awareness on the flow of your breath coming in and out of your body. Noticing where your breath begins, how it moves, how it shows up in your body, where the in breath becomes the out breath, perhaps even noticing that tiniest of gaps between the end of one breath and the beginning of the next breath. So letting yourself just enjoy this for another minute or so. When we allow ourselves to simply be here now, it's an invitation to connect with this awareness, to connect with this true self. Couldn't be simpler. There's nothing to do. We can simply be. There's nowhere to go. We simply be here. And by being here, we can connect to this ever present now. When you feel ready, I invite you to open your eyes slowly. And as you do, just notice where the eyes want to go. Imagine for the moment that your head and your eyes are moving independently, just letting them explore, noticing what they notice. And noticing how this visual sense is also a part of your awareness. And how this awareness expands your world. And feel free to continue to practice for as long as you'd like. You could pause this meditation if you wish to continue practicing. We'll be rewinding the tape, so to speak, during the next couple of days and really taking it into some basics. But I wanted to begin with the end in mind, as the saying goes. So I hope you enjoyed that. Join us as we walk this path of alchemy and integration and spiritual exploration together. So I will see you back in about a month or so for season 11. It's going to be a banger. And until then, my friends, I really appreciate you being here. Make sure that you follow the podcast, leave a review, leave a rating. It really helps other people discover the show. Make sure that you're signed up for the newsletter. You can do that through bluemagicalchemy.com or connect with me on social media so that you're not missing out on the next podcast or breathwork or meditation that I'm doing and some of the other offerings that I have online or in Arizona if you are local. Remember that this journey is not about the method that you are using or the pace at which you travel the path. The vital point is to consistently show up for yourself and apply what you're learning. As the saying goes, it's not the destination, but the journey that truly matters. And I really am honored to accompany you on your journey. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I love getting feedback. I love all the comments that I've gotten about this season. And I really appreciate those of you that have reached out. So let's keep connecting. Let me know how you liked it. What was your favorite episode this season? And I'm just an email, DM, or review away. Let's journey, grow, and transform together. Thanks again for tuning in. Until the next episode, keep exploring, keep growing, and above all, keep practicing because that's the vital point.